also show like the meal I'm cooking tonight. So I diced up a whole tomato, some mushrooms. I also put some in there, and the onions. That's about half a stick of butter, some spinach. Yes, butter's not the healthiest, but whatever. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend this up and then saute it. And the meal is making chicken Alfredo over some chicken and mozzarella tortellini. So yeah. And then I thought that would be like filled with a lot of protein and everything like that, you know, parmesan, chicken, all that jazz. So this is what it looks like after it's been blended and everything like that. I did have to add a little bit of avocado oil to get it to like fully blend. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put like half in here, which is where I'm gonna make the sauce, and then half in there, which is where I'm gonna saute that and then add that in later to the sauce. Yeah, and then that's also where I'm gonna boil the tortellini, and then also saute the tortellini, just so I don't have to do so many dishes. So yeah, do that. Go. That's about half and half, maybe a little less in here than in there, but to be fair, I mean, it's all coming together at some point. So as this is melting down, technically you do need about 2 tablespoons of flour to thicken up the sauce. So it's a good opportunity, in my opinion, to make a roux. So, and then the butter's gonna finish melting down. You're just gonna mix it for a while. I'd probably say about every like few minutes, mix it for about 10-ish minutes. So that's what that will be doing. So this is also what it looks like as I'm kind of like combining it. It'll probably kind of melt down a little bit more as I heat it up. It's on medium heat, just so you know. And then so I just had the ADHD realization that I was supposed to do this process in this pot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this off real quick. Saute the vegetables, make the sauce, add it in. Just put it off in this little thing real quick, and we'll just deal with that later, essentially. Put that off to the side. I'll probably transfer this into there, and then saute. Yeah, I guess there's just more flavor in there when we go to boil the tortellini. It's, you know, things happen. Anyway, also I did season this with just a little bit of salt, some rosemary, pepper, and rosemary, and I think that's it. And honestly, it smells so delicious. But anyway, continuing on. So while that butter is melting down, I'm gonna take this half and half and milk. To be fair, I did give it a good shake before this, so I'm not really surprised. Honestly, I'm gonna do this whole container of half and half. And I think I'll probably do it up just to the next one, just because, you know. So I'll probably say, what about 3/4 of this bottle of 2%? This is pre-melted down butter, and then I'm gonna give this like a little like, or rinse this off. Well, actually, really I don't have to. I just used it for the garlic, so really not that deep. And then, ooh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna put this off to the side. Well, actually not. I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator so it's just like still cool when I add it in. Oh wait. So this is just like some leftover like salsa water. Like I just used it to like clean out the jars, and some like I think a garlic jar too. Since I already put it back, so I'm just gonna remix it with a different fork. Put it off to the side, put this off into the fridge. Okay. I'm gonna add just a little bit of extra oil before I go saute this. So yeah. So back on medium heat, just gonna saute the mushrooms first. And then honestly, I think I will add those two like in to the sauce once it's already made. So I think I'm gonna put this into there, and then put it into the refrigerator, just so it's a quick little like grab into the refrigerator, plop it in, mix, let it simmer for a little while. Yeah. Is it a little weird to do it like this? Maybe, but I think it's a little innovative. I don't know. into the refrigerator. It really smells so good. Mushrooms have been sauteing for a while. Time to take the milk. Wow. And then we'll just mix that together and kind of let that come to like a little bit of a simmer. I'll show you what it looks like, but since it was just in the refrigerator, it's gonna take a little bit of time. I have it actually on like medium low, just because I don't want it to like curdle or get too gross or anything like that. I want to cook this roux down on medium, and then actually let this cook down on low in here at the same time, just so that these two things could be ready at the same time. I just put that milk inside that roux, and I'm just gonna kind of combine it. Same medium heat. And so this is what we're going for right here. You want it to kind of boil like this. Not gonna lie, I kind of like put it up there to let it get to boil. I think I might put it in between there just a little bit, just to get it like keep like a roaring boil to keep it going. And you know, just scraping the sides and everything like that. I'm gonna let it like go for just a little while, and then I'm gonna put the cheese. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put the cheese in. Oh gosh. Yeah. So I just added in those tomatoes and spinach in there just to like kind of boil down a little bit. And I'm probably gonna let that go for probably about 5 minutes maybe before adding the cheese actually, because I thought that'd probably be a better idea, because cheese is gonna melt like real quick. It just needs a second to kind of cook, so kind of let that go. Alright, so there we go. It's kind of boiled down and like reduced, as you can see. I added in like maybe like 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, because you just want to add in a little bit at a time to melt it down on low so it doesn't get too bad. Alright, so I've got it at a roaring boil. It says to cook it for 3 minutes and drain. Yeah, okay. Well, let's do this. There we go. There we go. I'm also watching a movie. Alright, so it's time to add some chicken. I've drained that. So I've also added the second half of the cheese, so this is what it looks like. Like, kind of thick. I think I've given it a good amount of time. I'm probably not going to use this whole package, I'm going to be so honest. But let me just... Alright, clean hands. Maybe like 1/3 of that package. Just kind of stir in a little bit. Make sure you always try and scrape the bottom of the pan so it's not a problem later. I think I could put in a teensy bit more chicken. So I think that it was probably a little more than half, maybe. And then now I'm gonna put the lid on it and let that kind of simmer. Alright, so actually it's off, believe it or not, but it's just finishing simmering, and then I just didn't want to like disturb the shape of this too much, so here. I feel like I don't want to put too much on there because honestly I don't feel like I'm gonna like eat a whole lot, so I feel like that's probably more than enough. And then for this, just got a measuring cup that I'm gonna use. Put that right on over. Ooh. That looks good as fuck. So I'm not gonna lie, I thought I portioned myself out too much, but I actually cleared that out. Now I'm gonna have a little bit of pomegranate with some dark chocolate. It's my new favorite thing, so